My name is Sarah Neufeld, and this is my violin. It doesn't have a name. I first started playing when I was 3. At first to be like my big brother. My big brother was 5. He was huge. No, I was 2 and he was 5. And there was a Suzuki teacher in town, and they like to start kids really young because it's an ear method. So you kind of learn your instrument by playing by ear a little bit more at first. I don't remember any of this, but this is what I've been told. And I would listen to his lessons and jump up at the end of them and grab it out of his hand, just like a bratty little sister who wanted to, copy everything he did. That would be the case for a while. And but I really took to it. I remember wanting it, and not just so I could be like him, but I loved making sounds. I don't know, maybe I wanted to make sounds. So then when I was 3, my parents let me get one, and it was like, no, it wasn't that big, but it was tiny. It was the tiniest. It was like from here to there, literally, and I don't know how anybody makes noises on a thing that small. It sounds just like nothing, like a squeaking nothing. It's on the wall at my parents' house. It's hilarious. So I started playing that, and I always just wanted to make up songs when I was little. And my mom was an improviser. She plays the flute, and she would kind of coax me into practicing by improvising with me. And so we'd have these jam sessions, which were really fun. And I remember that was my favorite part. That's all I really remember, and the rest of it was kind of torturous. I didn't like reading music or playing pieces, and I did that for a while, and then I just couldn't do it. I couldn't play in the orchestra, and I couldn't really deal with it. I don't know. I was a wayward teen, and I quit. And then a couple years later, and I was playing guitar and like learning all the Hendrix solos, and I was playing in bands, like little high school bands. And I was like, wait a minute, I can play something else a lot better. Like I can actually, it was part of my body, because I'd been playing for so long. And so I got one of those bottle cap gum pickups and stuck it on, and then it felt good, and I wasn't worried about I didn't know what it meant to play violin in a rock band, because it wasn't even, like, these were bands, like, in high school. I didn't think of them as having any genre, or the violin was just this instrument that I'd always played. So it was fun, and we made creative music, and then I moved to Montreal and went to music school, and then was able to get a little bit more serious, actually practicing the instrument and playing some jazz and opening up my ears. But I met all these people. I met some people that I played really creative music with, and we started this thing called Bellercast. And that was really expressive, and I was able to sort of do what I'd always kind of loved to do on my own, being really creative and genreless with these people playing for dance. And then puppet theater, and then we became this band and made this beautiful, surprising, difficult music together, which has been so lovely. And then about at the same time, Arcade Fire was playing, and I started playing with that. And that's more like, it's more of a context, like it's more of a rock band context, and within that band there's this, it's like strings and horns play a more, almost like a formal role. I remember Regine saying to me, like, Motown strings, and I'd never thought of it before as like oh yeah, strings serve this purpose in popular music as in this kind of way. So I didn't really know what that was all about, so I kind of figured that out over time. And so that's a lot different than just playing, expressing with this instrument, as I kind of always had been. And I'd always been really driven to play rhythmically, physically, rhythmically, and just sort of making weird music that came out of my head. So it was kind of natural to play solo music, even though it seemed like this daunting, strange task, like the word solo career or whatever didn't really resonate. I love people, and I love collaborating with people, but you give somebody some time alone, and stuff happens. So when when we got off tour this fall, I was opening a business in New York City, and I would come home from the construction site being all stressed out, and then I'd just be in this little room by myself, and I started making music. And that was a couple months ago. And now I have all this music, and it's kind of strange, and it's beautiful. It's kind of beautiful. I think it's beautiful. And it's really fun because I get to express myself in this way that's totally not in any other context, which is really freeing, and it's really limiting. And I like both of those things, both of those aspects.